Hi team. Okay, so let's talk colour personalities. By now, most of my team should be pretty familiar with the 4 different colour personalities of MLM, which is a book by Big Al Schrader. The 4 colours, basically in a nutshell, are red, yellow, blue and green. Reds are super ambitious, super driven, love recognition. Your yellows are very nurturing, very caring, they love being a team player. Then you've got your blues who love meeting new people, going new places, they love adventure and exciting things. And then you've got your greens who are very information driven, they like having training, they like being informed, they literally will do every bit of self-development. So they are the 4 colour personalities. Usually people fall into at least one, usually more, of these categories, but they have a dominant character trait. So that is the 4 colour personalities in a nutshell, but today I want to focus on the reds, and in particular on the super reds. Okay, so let's dig a little bit deeper into our red personalities. Now these are usually the traits of a red, not all of them, but if you fit 4 or more of these, and I would say you have a lot of red in you. So reds want to be a leader like yesterday. They're very impatient. They're very driven by money. They are results focused. They love hearing about figures. They're very competitive. Every time an incentive is announced, they're usually the first to win it. They love recognition and awards, and they love being centre stage. They love public speaking. They really enjoy the fame side of the business. They are action takers. They're not afraid to get stuck in, even if they don't know all the facts. They tend to be a top producer and can be ego-driven. They tend to be a lone player. And they do self-development because they know it will grow them, it will help them move forward in the business, but they tend to do it on all of the professional development, on how to recruit, on how to sell, on scripts to use, rather than on the more fluffy stuff like how to build confidence and how to have more self-worth. So reds are a great colour to work with. I really enjoy working with my reds. They tend to go out and take action and they get results, but they really do need a lot of the time to balance it out with the yellow side. And people who are a balance of red and yellow tend to go very far in this business. So what's yellow? Let's dig a little bit deeper on the yellow side. Yellows are nurturers. They're team players. They want to help, they want to support their team and see all of their girls succeed. They're great community builders. They're very, very patient and they just want to mentor and be a support to their team. So there is a third, like I've invented this, I've invented it today. There is something called a super red from my experience. And this is somebody who is extremely red and are very out of touch with their yellow side. And these are people that I do a lot of work with, a lot of coaching with. And they make amazing leaders if they can just get in touch with their yellow. So listen to these traits. And if you see yourself fitting into any of this, then the chances are you may be a super red or bordering on being a super red. So, do you struggle to relate to your team? Are you impatient with the results that you're getting? Do you not want to be seen as yellow? Do you see the yellow trait as being a weakness, as being fluffy? Do you struggle with sharing vulnerability with your team? Are you bossing instead of leading? That's a big one of a super red. Do you push your team? Do you recruit lots but you have low retention and low duplication? If so, and are you not coachable? That's another one. Super reds tend to, say it's their way or the highway. So if you fit into, I would say 3 or more of them, then you probably are bordering on being a super red. So this video is designed to help and support our super reds in developing your yellow side to make you a super leader, because in turn that's going to help you get the results that you want within the business. So I'm going to break those points down one by one to help you understand where you could be going wrong. Maybe not, but where you could be going wrong, and help you do something about it to help you get the best out of your team. Because we all know, as red as we might be, as much of a top producer as we could possibly be, we can't do this on our own. We need a team behind us, and we need to be able to bring the best out in people so that we can all get to where we want to go. So let's talk first about the inability to relate to your team. So most reds are born ready to run, and like I said, they will take action. They don't need all the information laid out in front of them. They just want results, so they go out there and do it. And because of that, when they recruit and they bring people into this business who aren't as red as them, they struggle to understand why that person isn't doing the things. They don't empathize with that person's struggles. And because not all reds, but a lot of super reds, they will do the self-development, but they won't do it on the fluffy stuff. They won't do it on confidence building and self-esteem. They can't relate to their girls. They don't understand what's making them tick. So I would say it's super important in this business to be a mentor, to be a coach to your ladies. And a key part of this is being able to empathize with where they are at the business right now and help them get past it. A lot of people, 90% of people, when they join this business, they don't have the confidence yet to run with it. A lot of people. And so it's actually vital that we develop this empathy side. Everyone that you introduce into the business, even if they do have high confidence, they are going to go through struggles, they are going to go through challenges, and they need a leader who's going to turn around to them and say, this is a normal part of the business, honey. I know exactly where you are because I've been there too, and this is how I came out the other side. That empathy piece is so important. Otherwise, what's going to happen is your team, the ladies that are going through these struggles, they're going to kind of look at their results and they're going to say, it's just me, I'm no good, I can't do this, I'm not her. So being able to relate to your team and help them through the hard times and be able to recommend self-development that's going to build their confidence and their esteem is vital. So that's the first way that you can yellow yourself up, is by relating to your team more through doing the fluffier side of the business. Okay, so super reds tend to be very, very impatient. It's not happening fast enough. They want to be a leader yesterday, they want to be black status yesterday, and they look at their team and they get frustrated with the lack of results, and they stop looking internally, they stop looking outwardly, and they'll say things like, my team is no good, my team's just not motivated enough, my team aren't doing as much as me. And I hear these phrases a lot from super reds. And so the advice that I always give to them is to divorce the result and marry the process. People are used to hearing me say that when it comes to their own action, when it comes to holding parties, when it comes to recruiting. Divorce the result, marry the process. But actually, it's the same with bringing your ladies on in the team. It's the same with nurturing leaders in your team and helping them grow. So, you know, when I bring people into the business, I will do my best to help them build their confidence, get them to the next level. And I can't be fixated on them getting there now. I have to be in love with the process of people development, and the results will come as a result of that. If I'm impatient, they're gonna feel that. And people need time to grow. It takes a long time to grow people in the skills of this business and in the confidence. And they need to feel like they have the space to grow into the person that they can become. If they feel pushed or pressured, that's game over. That's just not the way to nurture people. So getting frustrated with your team is the worst thing you can do. And if you want to grow faster, the best thing you can do is not be impatient with your team, is to go out and produce more and go and find other women. And in fact, go out and find other reds who are going to be top producers just like you. But be warned, if you're going to recruit reds into your team, you need to learn how to coach the yellow out of them. So another way that super reds can improve their results is to change the way they see the yellow colour personality. So super reds, people who are extremely red, tend to look at yellows and feel like being yellow is a weakness. Not all reds are like this, but a lot are. They see being yellow, you know, as and being vulnerable and showing weakness to the team. They don't think that's a good thing. And I'm here to tell you, if that's you, you got it wrong. You have got it wrong. Being vulnerable is not a weakness at all. Being vulnerable is an absolute strength, and in fact it is an essential to being a strong leader. People will respect you for the results that you get, but they will relate to you over your weakness. So if you're unwilling to share the struggles that you've had in the business, if you're unwilling to show your team all of the obstacles that you've had to overcome, then all you are doing is making yourself unrelatable. And your team are going to look at you and they're going to respect you for your results, but they're going to think that you were born that way, and they're going to think, I can't be her because she just, everything she touches turns to gold. So it's really important that you relate to your team and that you show them that it's not easy for you either, and that you have had to overcome certain struggles and certain challenges. And when you do that, people will want to follow you because A, they're going to respect you, and B, they're going to have a connection with you. So if this is you, if you struggle with vulnerability, then I recommend you read a book called The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown. Okay, so another area in which super reds need to focus is to stop being a boss and start being a leader. There is a vast difference between the two. So what a lot of super reds will do is they'll go to their team and they'll say, how many parties have you got booked in? How many recruitment conversations are you having? How many sales do you have to go in? They usually do this at the end of the month when they need it. Now, if somebody's come to you and they've said, I need you to hold me accountable in this way, I need you to check in with me to see how much results I'm getting, then it's fine. But if they haven't asked you to do that and you're pushing in that way, all you are going to do is push people away. And from my experience in this business, the vast majority of people do not want to be pushed. They do not want to be pressured. That's why they became self-employed. If they wanted a boss, they would go back to their day jobs. So we have a volunteer army of women who are working this business through choice. And when you push people for the results that you want, you're gonna push them out of the business, and this may be why you're experiencing a low recruitment rate. So our job as leaders ultimately is not to push people for the results that we want, but to encourage and nurture the results out of them that they want. The best thing you can do when somebody joins your team is ask them where they want to be in 6 months' time, and then do your best to help them get there by taking them on the same journey that you've been on. So the other thing with super reds is they can be a tad uncoachable when they get feedback from a team member or from an upline. They, rather than take something from it, they can take it as a personal insult, and they don't look at it as an opportunity to grow. We all need to grow. Nobody's perfect. Even the people who are the best, who produce the best results, they still need to grow. So being coachable, you know it, ladies, is so important in this business. If somebody gives you some constructive criticism, whether it's a customer, whether it's a sideline, whether it's a downline, whether it's an upline, rather than taking it personally, learn to look at it and see if there's any value in the criticism, and use it to grow yourself to the next level. Growth mindset all the way. So the final thing I want to talk about with the super reds is the high production. So they recruit a lot, but they have low retention and they have low duplication. And this is down to a number of reasons. It comes from their frustration with their team, which was spoken about. If you're frustrated with your team, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel like they're not good enough. And that's the last thing you want your team feeling. Our mission is to uplift, empower, and validate. And if you're not doing that, the chances are they're going to disappear. lack of community and that soft touch that's needed to get people connected and finding their people and loving what they do and feeling like that sense of belonging. It's a very, very yellow trait. The other reason you might have the low duplication, low retention is because of pushing rather than mentoring. And the other reason you might have low retention, low duplication is your team just see you as superhuman and they don't relate to you because you're not showing your vulnerabilities. So that's pretty much it for the super reds. It's like I said, I know I've focused very much on the downsides of being a super red. They are my favorite color to work with because they can become the most incredible leaders when they get in touch with their yellow side. I hope this has helped a lot of people. If it has, please subscribe, share with your teams, and next time I'm going to be talking about super yellows. All right, ladies, take care. Bye.